All righty. You are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium. With today, the 16 and 0 playoff round. Well, New York Giants are taking on the 0 and 16 New York Jets. And why are the New York Jets 0 and 16? Because they suck. They won today, but they still suck. The New York Jets suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Up Jersey guys is in the house. Hey, anybody out there at all that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay of this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 to 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. It's also, instead of me rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean the world to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, if you're subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I could use all the support I can get. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go by, I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. And additionally, also, go farther down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one is the Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. And then the other one is Twitter. It's been Twitter today, it'll be Twitter tomorrow, it'll be Twitter for the next 300,000 years. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on him. I'm not going to call it that. It's Twitter. If you follow me I put stuff out there. I try to put stuff in Twitter every day. So if you follow me on Twitter, I will follow you back. That's a promise. And also, there's another link there. It's a Facebook links take you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a group. It's doing marvelous. We have over 6,900 members. We're just close to 7,000 members in the group. Basically, I'm putting stuff in there every day. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in there every day. And you become a member, not only do I put stuff in there, but the members post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information every day. Please feel free to join the group. You won't be disappointed. All right, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. Oh, my God. It's just, hey. Oh, my God. Here to rebuild. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going like Facebook and stuff like that. Oh, man. Let me tell you. Oh, boy. Can you hear me? Can you? Am I like? Oh, or can you hear me? I see my. Oh, all right. Maybe it's coming up now. Sometimes I talk and like, yeah, okay, all right. Sometimes I talk and like the volume like isn't like, what do we got? Everybody, yeah. If you go to the Facebook, I'm like on like 30 to 35 different giant Facebook groups. I'm not sure if all of them are active or not, whatever. But I'll tell you, oh yeah, a lot of them. They want. A lot of them not very happy with Dable. That is for sure. That is for definitely. Your Cinderella season last year has been a reality check for City. Let's stay the course. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, it's just this one was just like a gut punch in just so many ways. So. I mean, so many ways. It was just, my God. I think we can play a pass in the second half. I mean, I didn't think we could get any worse, honestly, than the where the heck was that? in the game against the Bears when Mike Glennon was in there. I didn't think the passing could get any worse, but somehow it actually was. Well, let's see. Oh, with Mike Mike Glennon in there, we were we completed 4 passes with Mike Glennon. I think was it 6 we completed? Was that what it was? I mean, while I'm here, I want to count these punts here. All right, 1. Oh my, I'm going to need fingers and toes and somebody else's fingers and toes to count these punts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 punts. 24 effing punts in this game. 24. And they were talking about last week, they said how bad it was. It was, I think, 18. Well, we had Giants went above and beyond. Oh, my goodness. Was it 6 I think we completed? Let's try that. Yeah, let's try box score here. Tyrod completed 4 passes and Tommy DeVito, 2. So we were 6 out of 14. Oh my God. 6 completions the whole game. 6 completions. Minus 9 yards. So actually, I mean, it actually got worse. I mean, than the Glennon game. The Tyrod is hurt. Oh yeah. I mean, they got to get somebody in there. Well, just reports. And what was it? Oh, yeah. It was all last night. We were talking about with Daniel Jones, kind of maybe, possibly, kind of maybe week 10. But we still got to play the Raiders this week. So maybe Daniel Jones week 10. And that's if he can stay healthy. Right? I mean, that's if it does come true. But we still got this week coming up. I mean, so they got to get somebody. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they had Ian Book, right, from Notre Dame in, and then who was the other guy? The guy was who Barkley, right? I think it was. They had him in, Matt Barkley. So I don't know, if they're going to bring one of those guys back, but I think they're almost kind of forced to now somebody. I think Barkley may not be a bad choice, because especially he was with Buffalo. So, I mean, maybe, but I mean, my goodness, can you, oh my God, can you see going into this game with Tommy DeVito and maybe Matt Barkley behind him? Holy cow. We got 2-15. Screw. Get the first round of draft grade, rebuild in the O-line. Let's take it from there. Man, maybe broken ribs. Yeah, I mean, they'll heal. You could put a jacket around and all that, but I mean, how long he'll be out for? I mean, holy cow. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I said, you don't want nobody to get injured, but it's just simply amazing, like how every week, you guys just one guy after the other just gets injured. And you look at these other teams that are doing well, and they're like, nobody's getting it. It's unbelievable. Absolutely just unfreaking believable. It's just at this point, maybe the high first round is better for our future. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, we want to start talking about that. I mean, hey, how about Mr. Kayvon, huh? I think it was 3 sacks. Yeah, Kayvon. I mean, he was going up against, I think, a backup, So, but that's what you're supposed to do. When you got superior talent going against maybe inferior talent, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to dominate. That's what he did. So he's on pace for, I mean, what's he got? 8.5 now, maybe? So we're halfway with it. We're not even halfway through the season. So he's basically on pace, as of right now, for like 17 sacks at least. Woo! I'll take that, huh? And he doesn't even have Azeez Ojulari on the other side, right? So good old Kayvon. Well, that's what it's going to wind up being. It's like, the rest of the season, what do we got? Who are we going to start building with? Even with DeVito, right? If he's going to be the starter next week, right? Is he somebody we might want to keep going forward? Can he be the backup quarterback going forward? It would have been nice if they would at least have him try to throw the ball a little bit, but it is what it is. Well, I did say they needed to pound the rock. Hey, I'll tell you what, you got to give credit to Saquon. He was there. How many carries did he have? My goodness. He was, let's say, 36 carries. How many receptions? 3 receptions. So he had the ball almost 40 times. So that was a shame because I was kind of hoping, that if you keep feeding and you keep feeding and you keep feeding, somewhere along the line, an old hole might pop up and he might take off. But that wasn't the case. But he had the ball almost 40 times between receptions and carries. But of course, it's Tyrod and then Waller. Now you don't know if if his hamstring, if that's going to be aggravated, if he's going to be out. Sydney, all right, Dave. I saw a lot of that. Let me tell you what, in the like the Facebook groups and everything. The only thing is that I'm just a little, you can second guess that. You could. Because just say, right, on that 4th and 1, they give the ball and say Saquon gets stoned, right? And now the Jets have the ball and they just need a field goal, right? What's everybody going to say? What, are you stupid? You got Graham Gano. It's like a 35-yard field goal. Come on, put him in 35 yards. They got 24 seconds left. Now they have to score a touchdown, right? So that's what everybody's going to say. My thing is if the guy is injured or something, he might have some problems or maybe this, or don't you, right? They wouldn't be to have maybe another kicker. The guy couldn't even make a 35-yard field goal. Holy cow. We're at the 17-yard line. 17-yard line, and we can't even make a field goal. Oh, my God. How long does it take to install the wishbone? Yeah, well, hey, they might have to go with that. Who the heck was it? Texas used to run that really, really well. And then they helped, I think, Oklahoma, like in the early 70s. I think when Greg Pruitt got there or something like that. Somebody from Texas went to Oklahoma. I don't know if it was the Texas coach or somebody from Texas showed Oklahoma how to run it. And boy, I'll tell you, once Oklahoma learned how to run that wishbone, holy cow. Of course, they had some real good running backs and all that, but that's what they might have to wind up doing. If we're not going to throw the ball, right? Let's see. I'm still looking for answers. Joe, the entire staff should be fired tomorrow. It's like, man. But then even with that, you figure they got the ball. What the frick yard line had the ball? 25? Was it the 25? And you figure they got to go like 50 yards in 24 seconds. It's like, come on, man. That ain't happening. Oh, my God. Oh, unbelievable. And, of course, they basically couldn't move the ball all game. They had that one play with Breece Hall. Couldn't really move the ball, not like that. So somehow in 24 seconds, they moved the ball, 50 yards for a game-tying field goal. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. We go 2-15. Yeah. Do we have yet again another new? I don't know. Well, but if you want to go back and look at it like this, right? just go back here, right? If you go back to 2014, that would be 10 seasons. Okay, the last 10 football seasons, Giants have had 5 head coaches. Every coach's last 2 seasons. Right? Tom Coughlin, 2014, 2015. Ben McAdoo, 16, 17. Shermer, 18, 19. Judge, 2021. Dable, 22, 23. So the last 10 seasons, we've had 5 coaches. Each one lasted 2 seasons. Of course, obviously, we know Coughlin's lasted a lot longer than 2 seasons. But if you go just back the last 10 seasons, we've had 5 coaches. Everyone's lasted 2 seasons. So, I mean, some of it, I don't. Oh my God. I mean, there's some of it you could see where they don't pass the ball because the offensive line, they don't want, it's almost kind of like, I don't know. It's like, let's punt the ball back to them. Let's just punt the ball. Let's run it, hold it, get tackled, punt the ball back to them. Maybe something will happen. Maybe Kayvon will come in, another strip sack, and maybe we can get a field goal opportunity or something. Oh, my God. And each coach was either a rookie or was a brutal coach already. Jim Harbaugh. Oh, well, I don't I can't remember the guy's name. There's a bald-headed guy. He's got glasses. He's an older guy. He's on, I think, ESPN and stuff like that a lot. He talks about college. And he was kind of seeming to think that maybe Jim Harbaugh is a little fed up with the college rules and what they're stealing signs and stuff like that. And all he said, he might be kind of a little fed up with the, with some of the college BS. And he said he might want to maybe come back to the pros. So who knows? But I think Harbaugh would be a perfect fit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, he would bring some excitement around here, wouldn't he? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know. Just gonna have a lot of questions to answer. That's for sure. I mean, this is just one of those. We just had a victory, and they just snatched defeat out of the jaws. It just, oh my God, oh my God. It's just brutal. And and then you look like next week. We got a 3rd-string quarterback in there. We can't pass the ball. Are we going to really beat the Raiders? With this coaching staff and all, and then after that, then we got the Cowboys. So you can certainly see us being what would that be, 2-8? Oh my God. When it rains, it pours, man. Rains, it freaking pours. Install the triple options, whatever you, I got 5 offensive linemen, the quarterback, and the other 5 guys, maybe like the double wing or something like that. Right? You have to have the 2 ends, right? And you have 3 guys, 3 running backs in the back. Right? Yeah. They might have to do something like that, man. This is unbelievable. It's horrible. It's unbelievable. How is that possible? I don't know. It's maybe a record, right? So it was 2021. We had the minus passing yards, right? Glennon. And now 2023. So 2 times in 3 seasons, the New York Giants have had minus passing yards in a game. It's a passing league, right? And 2 times we've had minus passing yards in a game. Holy cow. And as I said, hold on, whoa. Oh, there we are. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. All right. So here, I said today, I think we had -9. Right? -9. So against the Bears, we had -6. So we actually did worse. Somehow we actually did worse this here than we did with Mike Glennon. Although we did complete more passes now this time. Glennon only completed 4 passes. We need a proven head coach. Dable and Shane are hired because Josh Allen is a top flight quarterback. What did they actually do to get hired? Makes zero sense. You get it. Newt Rockney football. Yeah. We need to get a free agent QB this week. Yeah, we got to get somebody. I said they had Barkley and Aaron Book, right? It was Matt Barkley, right? And Ian Book in there. It was like not this past week. I think the week before that, but I don't know. I guess neither one worked out. But we got to, I mean, what are we going to do now? I mean, Daniel Jones ain't going to be ready. Tyrod's got broken. Where are we going to go with one quarterback? I mean, what are we going to do? One quarterback, and then if he gets injured, we're going to have Saquon. Will be the, right? They'll just snap the ball to him every time. The Wildcat. They got to do something, man. Wow, that's it. I might have to do that, right? Probably not going to win any games, but that's what we might have to do. Start teaching Breida and Barkley how to do the Wildcat. Bring it to Tony Sparano as offensive coordinator. Bring in Tony Sparano as offensive coordinator. You got it. No Rockney football. Why not? Well, hey, at this point, why not? I mean, if we're not going to throw any passes, I mean, well, let's see. What did DeVito have? How many did he throw? What the heck we had here? Oh, there we go. Home box score. Okay, he threw 7 passes. Okay, I thought it was like 5 or 6. He threw 7. He's 2 for 7. But we threw 14 passes all game long. I mean, so if he doesn't, and DeVito he completed 2 for -1 yard. So I mean, he got sacked twice. His quarterback rating was a 15.2. Tyrod Taylor's quarterback rating was an 8.4. Zach Wilson wasn't much better. He was a 35.6, his QBR. Holy cow. Wow. Oh my God. It's funny, but it's just sad. It really is. I mean, it would be so much nicer if this was happening to like the Eagles or the Cowboys or something like that. But which, by the way, is going to be a big game next week. Eagles, Cowboys. And I was telling you, Jersey guy, I said the only good thing that happened was my knockout poll. The Cowboys kept me in it. So I'll be going into whatever week 9 it is in my knockout poll. I mean, actually, I'm in 2. I certainly don't want to jinx myself. I probably just did, but I'm in 2 of them. And I'm going into week 9 next week. So thanks to the Cowboys, they kept me in my knockout pool. No. And the weirdest thing is the weird how lucky I am to be in my knockout pool, to be going into week 9 in the knockout pool, is I actually in week 2 I picked the Giants. And they were down, 28-7. I had to have some kind of historic comeback for the Giants just to keep me in my knockout pool. So I got lucky. I actually picked the Giants in one of my knockout pool games. I mean, keep the practice squad. DeVito has no business being on. I mean, let's say keep in practice with all the jet bonehead penalties. It's. Let's see what did they have here? Oh, team stats. Here we go. I mean, it was like, okay. That too, the Jets had 2 turnovers. We had none. Penalties. They had 9 for 85. We had 6 for 73, but they had 9 penalties, almost 100 yards. The 2 turnovers they had. I mean, it just, man, Jackson should play again. Jackson should play again for us. I hate to say, go boys. Oh yeah, unfortunately, my son's a Cowboy fan, so I'll be pulling for the Cowboys. I'd rather see the Cowboys beat the Eagles. I think it's in Philly, though. I think I could be wrong, but I mean, I'd rather see the Cowboys win than the Eagles, without question. The incompetence of this franchise. I and DeVito, they had no confidence. No, it was just like, okay, Tommy, go out there. We're going to call 3 runs, and in 4th down, you run off the field, because then we're going to punt. When we get the ball back, we're going to call 3 runs. You run out there, run the 3 runs. On 4th down, you're going to run off the field because we're going to punt. It's just, I mean, they couldn't come up with anything, something quick. I mean, I know. I mean, there was no Waller, so that's huge. Now we have, now we might have to get a tight end as well too. Oh, let's see. Right there shows you the table. I mean, really, I mean, see, when everything's going just fine and fancy, everybody's holding hands and singing Kumbaya. Like last year, we started off to that nice run and we lost a few and we came back and we made the playoffs and we got everything's, hey, but of course, when things go bad like this, see, this is when you start really seeing, when things really start going bad, is it like, it starts showing you what kind of coach you have, and there's certainly have some questions here. Cowboys over Eagles. This much is certain. Let's all hope that the Lions. Oh, me too. Let's go Lions. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm pulling. I don't want the Cowboys or the Eagles to win, but the Eagles, anybody but the Eagles. I got two rules. Giants number one, and if that don't happen, anybody but the Eagles. Anybody. So, message with Joseph. Yes. Yeah, so I'll be pulling for him. I hate the Eagles. Yeah. Well, because I'm right down here in Philadelphia country. I'm about like 20 minutes from Philadelphia. So I'm surrounded by Eagle fans. My wife's an Eagle fan. Oh, can't stand it. Absolutely can't stand it. Oh, yeah, that too. Yep. PH. Yep. Philly. Absolutely. I can't. It was so good today because they were, what the hell was the score? It was 14-3. Then I think it was 17-10 at halftime. And I'm like, man, all right. And then, of course, a couple of weeks earlier, the Commanders took the Eagles into overtime. So I'm like, all right, okay. Hopefully, because who was that? Sweat? Was it Sweat or something like that? I forgot who it is. One of the reporters asked them, about after they lost to the Giants last week. He's like, man, I'm sick of this. 7 years of this, I'm sick of this. And, he said, we got to, we just got to, whatever, rebound and get ready for Philly next week or something like that. So I thought they'd be all fired up for this game. And they were actually the win, I think 17-10 and whatever. Then they wound up just getting smoked. It's just like unbelievable, man. Life on oh yeah. Yep. I can't stand it. At least the Phillies lost in baseball. So thank goodness there. Thank goodness there. Docky's in Camden has better cheesesteaks than Philly. I never went there. But if you want a cheesesteak, this is the area for it. South Jersey, Philadelphia. This is your area for a cheesesteak. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Good cheesesteaks right here. So I don't know what we got here. Is it over this season? Well, the playoffs are over, that's for sure. Another thing really to hope for is as we go along, appreciate individual performances like what we got with Kayvon. If Michael Schmitz comes back and his shoulder heals up and he does well with the center position, right? If Hyatt's maybe gets a couple good performances, if Banks still, keeps up doing what he's doing, Micah McFadden, right? Maybe if he's, right, or Karakay, Sexy Dex, if we can see some guys, to build around, it's like, we have to scrap this team now and try to rebuild again. It's like, Jesus God. And now you kind of like it's what happens if we have a bad season next season? I mean, how long is the leash for Dable? How long's his leash? I mean, I can see, with all the injuries we got, I ain't nothing going to happen. I'd have a hard time believing anything's going to happen to him after this season with all these injuries. But, he's going to have to rebound next season, right? And are we going to be able to rebound next season? Because you figure if we're going to let Adoree Jackson go, like possibly, Leonard Williams go, we're going to sign Xavier McKinney, maybe, yes. Who else? Whoever else is on a 1-year deal. I mean, hopefully we'll bring Saquon Barkley back, but we got to turn this stuff around. Really. Who should we trade for a deadline? I like the Harbaugh idea. He wants out. Well, that's what I was hearing. And he wants out of the NCAA. Yeah. Well, hey. Who should we trade? Who should we trade for? Oh, there's a lot of teams out there. I don't know. It all depends. I mean, there's Does Shane want to give up any? Because we only got 6 draft picks next season. That's not a lot. And if we're letting guys go, we're not resigning a lot of guys. We need as many draft picks as we can. And Patty Trainer, she did a thing. One of her videos last week was talking about, so we only have like about $1.4 million in salary cap space. And this is an excellent example. We're going to need to bring in a quarterback. Possibly, quite possibly, unless, I don't know, Tyrod comes back and his ribs are magically healed and he can be the number 1 quarterback and DeVito can be number whatever. But you got to keep bringing guys in. So we got about 1.4. So we have to do, we got half the season left and we got like we can only bring in maybe 2 guys. I don't even know if we can even bring in 2 guys for 1.4 million. So we might have to do something maybe to unload some salary, right? And maybe we can, she was talking about maybe just getting rid of, if we can, maybe Leonard Williams, get rid of him, maybe save some of his salary, and that'll help the Giants maybe be able to get through the rest of the season, salary cap wise. Get the Gettleman guy. Yep. Are we keeping Joe? Well, yes. Well, there you go. Because that's another one of those things. It's like you're in limbo. There's so many things. Once again, well, what happened to him? Well, he got injured. Well, why did he get injured? Well, the same thing that's gone on for the past 300 freaking years with the Giants. The offensive line is, injuries, right? So, it's like, has this been once again with Daniel Jones? Is this a real good sample of what we could do with him? He doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. The offensive line's been horrible. However, then on the other hand, there's also been some good evidence where, he stares down receivers, right? He doesn't look at all, I've seen a bunch of, once again, same thing last year, same thing this year, YouTube videos, right? Jones dropping back the pass. Might be Slayton running wide open down the sideline, way down there. He doesn't look that way. Or somebody else is wide open, way over there. He doesn't look over there. He's like, he's just, whatever. He almost like locks in on one guy running across the field and, okay, throwing the ball, And then when he got picked, the pass got picked off. I can't remember the Seahawks player is. But he said after the game, he's like, yeah, well, we kind of watched the film and we kind of noticed he kind of like locks on to a receiver. So you just look at Daniel Jones and see where his eyes are at. Okay, he's looking over here. Okay, because he's going to throw to this guy right here. Okay, there's no Tom Brady. Tom Brady's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's like with Brady, he's dancing. It's like a dance. He's every time he bounces, he's looking over here for maybe receiver 1, whatever. And he's looking over here. And he's looking, that ain't happening with Daniel Jones. Now, I don't know. Is that because he's shell shocked? It's like, I know I'm going to get hit in about the next half a second. So as soon as this guy turns around, I'm going to throw the, if we could ever protect him, maybe would his ways change a little bit? Who knows? But, oh, yeah. Drafted point guard. There you go. Yeah, from Duke. Well, hey, they're better known for their point guards, that's for sure, than they are for their quarterbacks. I agree. His pocket presence isn't. No, it's not. I said, I don't know how many times, you see videos and stuff like that, him just like looking at a certain guy. It doesn't seem like he looks around. It's. But you don't know if it's the clock in his head. Just from being shell shocked. It's tough. How many years? It's once again, it's like how many years are you going to keep going with Daniel Jones? This is his 5th season. Can you really ever think, of like another team or whatever like that? You got a guy for 5 years and you're still not quite. Well, I don't know. He might be the quarterback. Yeah. What are we going to have him around for 15 years? I don't know. He might be the. Usually you get a couple seasons. Whether it's right or wrong, good or indecent, whether you got a good offensive line, bad offensive line, whatever, you got a couple seasons. If you're not putting up wins and this and that and the other thing, dude, you're out of here. But we have to have Daniel Jones back next season because because of the salary he's got. So we have to have him back. So he's going to be here for a sixth season. Right now, whether we keep him after 6 seasons or not, we can get out after next season. We'd have I think after 2024, we can get rid of him. He would have like a $20 million dead cap. I think it's $20 million dead cap hit in 2025. I think, but we could get out of the salary, if we want after next season. But we got to have him back next season. So Daniel Jones will be here, good or bad or whatever, indifferent. He'll be here for 2024. He's a mobile version of Dave. There you go. Yeah, Dave Brown wasn't very mobile. Yeah, Dave Brown. He had. We didn't have a fantastic team around him either. I mean, we did. What would you say? We had. I mean, geez, you go back whatever. You got the 70s, the 80s, the 90s with Dave Brown, all of that Canal, and Dave Brown and Kent Graham, right? All that, we didn't have a phenomenal bunch of wide receivers. You go back, you go the 2000s and maybe the teens with Odell Beckham Jr. and all that. We had some good receivers, but like with Dave Brown, we didn't have much of an offense with him. We had he had Hampton running the ball, but we didn't have like great offensive weapons. It's kind of like the same thing right now. I mean, after OBJ left, we've had some wide receivers, but nobody's been no one have a dog out there. We got Danny Canal. Oh, well, Kerry Collins, boy, that guy can sling the ball. Let me tell you what. That was a magic 2000. That was a magical season, and then 2002. That was a real good season too. Of course, then we wound up. That was that epic. We were up 38-14 over the 49ers in the the wild card round, 38-14, and we lost 30. And of course, we got Trey Junkin. He gave a bad snap. We got screwed on that. The penalty, it should have been a penalty called on the 49ers, and we should have like a re-kick or something like that. We might have made it, but we probably wouldn't have beaten the Buccaneers the following week anyway. The Buccaneers with their defense, they were really good. But Kerry Collins, he could sling the ball. Let me tell you what. Oh no, he couldn't run either. Nope. Nope. With Collins, right? Because he had Tiki, right? In 2002, anyway, that's when we got Shockey, right? We had Amani Toomer. We had Ike Hilliard, so we had some nice weapons, especially once we got into the 2000s, we started using Tiki more and more and more, and he was a weapon, right? And Amani Toomer, Mr. Steady. I said we didn't have Shockey till 2002, but we drafted Ike Hilliard, I think, in 97, I think it was. So we had him. He had, when he was healthy, he was a nice weapon for the Giants. But Kerry, man, he could throw it. That long snap, Trey Junkin. Yeah, I forgot what team he came from. And you know what it was? It was something after the game was over with. He said something. I probably got to forget, but he said something. I think in my whole career, I've had 2 bad snaps, and that last one was one of them. And he said that last one, I think I had just about cost the team chance to go to the Super Bowl or something like that. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh yeah, we awesome. That playoff. Well, there was that one, and then there was the one we lost. I think it was 23-22 to the Vikings. We were up. What the heck were we up? Was it 22-13 or something like that? I think it was. We were up by 2 scores. And we're up by 2 scores to the Vikings. And what's it? 97. That was 97. And Randall Cunningham and all of that. And we were up by 2 scores. It was like 5 minutes to go in the game. The Vikings, and I remember this. I was watching the game on TV. Maybe 22-13 we were up. I think it was. And, and the Vikings got the ball. It's around midfield, somewhere around there. And Randall Cunningham's, I think they break the huddle, and he's like walking up to the line of scrimmage. And I'm like, man, dude, don't you notice like you're down by 2 scores and there's like 5 minutes, and I think the clock was running. And he's just walking up to the line of scrimmage, looking around, calling signals, and it's like the clock's just running. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? But they went. That was a painful one too. That was. Ugh. I'm not sure which one was worse. I mean, I know the 49, that one was freaking brutal too. That was, oh my God. It was up there. No, Barb was only a third down. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he did. If you look at his stats, it's like, why aren't they using this guy? But and it's a shame because you don't know if they used him earlier on, would he have wore himself out later in his career? Maybe because he didn't get used a lot earlier on, that prolonged his career till 2006. It's just that the shame of it was that because after he retired in 2006, I think he still had some in the tank. I think he just said something like, it was harder for him to get up and to get going again and all that stuff, after the season was over or what, but it's a shame because like if he did play another couple seasons, he has like 15,000 all-purpose yards. So if he played a couple more years, he might have been able to play a couple more years, right? He quite probably would have got himself a Super Bowl ring, right? 2007, might have been around for 2008. He would have had maybe 16, 17,000 all-purpose yards. Then it would have been kind of difficult, especially if he would have had a Super Bowl. I think it would have been kind of difficult at that point to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. I mean, you got somebody who has he would have had like 11,000 rushing yards, maybe 12,000 rushing yards, maybe 6,000 receiving yards, and then to keep him out of the Hall of Fame with a Super Bowl ring too, that would be kind of tough. But Jiggy's relationship, yeah, that too, yep, yeah, no, he didn't, yeah, that was a shame, but it is what it is. Just because you're on the same team doesn't mean you agree with them or you get along or whatever it was. It is what it is. But I mean, there's no doubt about it. Boy, I'll tell you, we were lucky we had Tiki. Whether he got along with Coughlin or didn't like man or whatever it was, we tell you what, he was a special guy. Let me tell you what. He had some fumbling problems early. Coughlin kind of fixed that. But I tell you what, boy, he had some good games. Man, man. It was, yeah. People judge him on that decision to retire and that he said versus play on the field. But, oh yeah, I said it was a couple of times. I mean, what was it? Was it 2000? Well, let's see. Let's type this up here. New York Giants 2006. I think was it the last game of the season? Was it the Redskin game? I mean, he had like over 200 all-purpose yards. It was crazy. The Redskin game. Here we go. Yeah. All right, box score. Yeah, because we had like the last game, the last regular season game of his career. He had 234 rushing yards and 24 receiving yards. So it was at 258 all-purpose yards he had. He had 3 touchdowns. He had a 55-yard, I guess it was a touchdown run. And the Giants needed to win that game. What the hell was their record? Yeah, 8-8. They needed that game to get into the playoffs. Of course, they lost in the first round of the 2006. The Eagles, I think, and Jeff Garcia knocked them out. Because I think Donovan McNabb was hurt. But Jeff Garcia knocked and the Eagles knocked us out in 2006. But we needed to win that game in Washington to make the playoffs. And we did that. And Tiki, was it a 50? He had a 50-yard run. Oh, yeah. Tiki had a 55-yard touchdown run, a 15-yard touchdown, and a 50-yard touchdown run. So he had 2 touchdown runs of over 50 yards in that game. And because of him, as I said, we only had in that whole game, what did we have? We had 100, we had 94 passing yards in that game. 94. We were 12 out of 26 for 101 yards passing in that game. But because of Tiki's running, he helped us get into this. Yeah, what we got? Such a dangerous player. Oh yeah. That was amazing because I mean, he would just like sneak out of the backfield, and you could just dump it off to him, and he can do. It's amazing. It's like some guys go out of the backfield, they catch it, and they can make things happen, and then you get other guys. I mean, They go out of the backfield, they dump it off to him, and boom, they get tackled. Tiki deserves serious. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he said he has over 50. I don't know how many. I should know that, or you could look it up, obviously. I don't know how many running backs had 10,000 rushing yards and 5,000 receiving yards. I don't know. And what I do know is that I guess it's all the running back. All of the players above him that have more all-purpose yards, except for Frank Gore. And I don't know, is there somebody else? Could be like maybe Peterson because he's not eligible yet, I guess, or whatever. But if you look at all the guys who have more all-purpose yards than, rushing and receiving than Tiki Barber, I think almost all of them. I think Frank Gore, I have a hard time with all the yards he has combined. I have a hard time keeping him out of the Hall of Fame. But so if you look at all the guys above Tiki Barber, I think almost all of them are in the Hall of Fame. And I think there's even some guys below Tiki Barber. Matter of fact, I know that. I mean, there's a ton of guys, rushers. You look at of course, he's not as good as Earl Campbell, but Earl Campbell didn't even have 10,000 rushing yards in his career. But I mean, there's a lot of guys that right around Tiki that are in the Hall of Fame, and Tiki's not, because I guess he maybe I don't know. But you also look at this too, is that Tiki, I think his last 2 seasons, he had back-to-back over 2,000 all-purpose yards, and he retires. Back-to-back, and he walks off into the sunset. All right, so let me look up Tiki. There you go. So it wasn't like, he was, 2005, 1,860 yards rushing. Oh, actually, my bad. His final 3 seasons, he had over 2,000. 2004, he had 1,500 rushing, 500, almost 600 receiving. He had almost 2,100 yards, 2004. 2005, 1,860 and 530. So he had almost 2,400 all-purpose yards, 2005. 2006, 1,660. So it's he had over 2,100. So Tiki Barber's final 3 seasons in the NFL, over 2,000 all-purpose yards, 3 in a row. He walks off into the sunset. I don't know. Has there been another running back out there that's had that 3 in a row? I don't know. Ron Dane. Nah. I think, I know Ron Dane with his Roger Craig. Roger Craig, he was the first one. Yeah, in the mid 80s, he had he had the 1,000. He had 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing in the same season. He was the first one to do that. I forgot what year it was with the 49ers, but he's in the Hall of Fame, right? Let's see here. Right, type him up. Roger Craig. What's he got here? Roger Craig. And I know he didn't finish his career with back-to-back 2,000 yards. Ain't no way, because he was a shell of himself in 1990 when the Giants knocked him out of the playoffs. Let's see here. His final season was with the 49ers in 1990. He had 439 rushing yards, and 201. So let's see. He had 1988. He had 2,036. Okay, in 1985. He had 1,000 and 1,000. So he had 2 seasons. Two seasons where he had over 2,000 all-purpose yards. But because he was, and what did he have? Rushing yards, 81, 89, and 49, 11. So Tiki had more receiving yards and more rushing yards than Roger Craig. Roger Craig's in the Hall of Fame. Tiki Barber's not. Tiki, back to back, 2,000 more all-purpose yards, and then he retires. Roger Craig had it 2 times. But because Roger Craig was with the 49ers, Roger Craig Super Bowls, blah, 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 all that stuff and everything, Roger Craig's Hall of Fame, Tiki Barber's not. Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, that's a head scratcher to me. Really is. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I mean, it's also sometimes you look around you. Yeah, I mean, look who's throwing the ball. Look who the quarterback is. Joe Montana, right? Who's running down the field? Jerry Rice, right? Got some good players. Helps make Roger Craig maybe a little bit better, right? Did Tiki Barber have Joe Montana throwing the football? Not that I know of. Was there Jerry Rice out there running around running patterns for the Giants? Not last time I checked. No. There's Bill Walsh on the sideline calling plays for Tiki Barber? Nope. Not last time I checked. Nope. You know what I mean? So I mean, come on, man. And also you got that too. You got to look at what did he do with what was around him, right? Yeah, that's just dispelled the myth that the West Coast offense was putting on finesse. Rathman, man, he was a beast. Yeah, that was a great 1-2 punch, boy. Really good 1-2 punch. Let me tell you what, Rathman, Nebraska, I think it was. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be getting in front of that guy. Either trying to tackle him or have him block you. I wouldn't want. Barber 27 all time ahead of Ricky. 27. Yeah. So as I'm saying, it's just kind of a shame because if he played another season or two, he'd be so much farther up the And if he had like 17,000 all-purpose yards or something, I think it'd really be a hard time to keep him out. But if you're looking, how many other running backs out there had 10,000 receiving yards and 5,000? Sorry. How many running backs out there had 10,000 rushing yards and 5,000 receiving yards? Right? Roger Craig, he was one of the best dual threats there is, and he had 8,000 rushing and 4,000 receiving, 4,000, almost 5,000 receiving. So he didn't have 10 and 5. Tiki did. Let's start a petition. Yeah, there you go. Come on, man. Unfortunately, it's not up to us. I think it's the writers or whoever it is. I don't know. He was different. Never seen another. No, I'll tell you. We're kind of hoping that when we got Saquon, even Tiki was saying that too. I remember Tiki on that show, Tiki and Tierney and stuff. So if you go back a few years ago, Tiki was like, this guy, which he is. If you look at Saquon, and even I think even Tiki was kind of saying, I think this guy might break my records or whatever. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. By the way, yeah, Jim Fossil. Yeah, I tell you what, man, it's a shame, man. Man, I know as time goes by, these guys you start realizing it's like, geez, and then of course the Dick Butkus passed away a couple weeks ago. He was 80 though. He was like, he was one of the guys when I grew up, he was one of my idols, and we could have drafted him in the 1965 draft, but we took Tucker Frederickson instead. The Bears took Butkus with number 3, and they took Gale Sayers with number 4. We got either one of those guys, and we took Tucker Frederickson. Man, bad pick there. But it's kind of weird between Frederickson, Sayers, and Butkus. I think all their careers got shortened because of their knees. 54 clock's ticking. I want another Super Bowl. Yeah, I know. Well, I was at 54. So obviously you remember all of them. So at least you saw 4 of them anyway, right? So I guess that that's better than right. Yeah. So because some of the newer guys have only maybe seen maybe 2007 and 2011. So you'd have to be what? What would you have to be? You'd have to be in maybe your late 30s to remember to actually sit down and actually remember watching 1990. Because what is that, 33 years ago? So if you were like, say, 5 or 6, you'd have to be 38 or 39. So a lot of these Giant fans might be 25 years old or so. They only maybe seen 2 Super Bowls, Bad football like today. So I don't think we can top the Pats wins. Nah, that'd be pretty tough. That'd be pretty tough. I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, look at Tom Brady, boy, one guy, and the coach. Of course, that helps too. No doubt about it. I'll tell you what, man. Well, all right, guys. Well, unfortunately, it's been 55 minutes. Whoever spend any time listening to me live, thank you. I'll be back again tomorrow, so we'll go over the PFF, the team and player grades. And boy, I'm sure we're going to get some bad grades on offense. Let me tell you. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or whoever's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.